is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. Literature, Monroe-Puri, optical illusions. That's so cliché. Lenin, and sports legends. Player 1, start us. His ship was wrecked off an island near South America. He remained alone on the island for 28 years. Player 1.
Yeah!
Player 1, back to you. The Lilliputians called this Jonathan Swift character Quinbus Flestrin, which means Great Man Mountain. Let's hear it, Player 1. Right. Select again. Answer, it's the Daily Double. You are in the lead right now. What'll it be? Here is your Daily Double clue. In a Nathaniel Hawthorne tale, Thomas Maule built a house in Salem with 7 of these. That puts you even further ahead. We return to you. Tom Sawyer told this girl, "I don't care for anybody but you," then gave her a brass knob from an andiron. Okay, Player 1. That is correct. Player 1. The Ministry of Truth is Oceania's propaganda department in this Orwell classic. It's Player 1. Right. You again, Player 1. In 1948, she had one line in Love Happy, the last Marx Brothers movie. Player 2. Good. Player 2. Forget DiMaggio and Berra. The secret to the Yankees' 11 pennants from 1947 to 1960 was Lucy Monroe's singing of this. Let's hear it, Player 1. You got it. Okay, let's get back. See Marion Monroe train as a child psychologist and co-write the book starring this unexciting boy-girl pair. Player 1. Correct.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1. 1940s singing star Vaughn Monroe had a rich voice in this middle male range, hence the nickname Old Leather Tonsils. Let's hear it, Player 2. Hey, you're right. All right, in 1912, Harriet Monroe launched the magazine simply called This. It soon published T.S. Eliot and Ezra Pound. Player 1.
Yeah!
Correct. Player 1. You're in command. Hope you studied this eye part that at its maximum contraction in an adult may be less than 1 millimeter in diameter. It's Player 3. You got it. Player 3. Jimmy will present this clue.
To allow your eyes to see clearly at varying distances, fibers called the zonules of Zinn change the shape of this eye part that focuses light onto the retina.
It's Player 1. That is correct. All right, don't detach this, which is next to the choroid and changes light rays into neural signals. Yes, player one? Yes. Select again. Drivers know the point where the optic nerve enters the eye has no rods or cones and goes by this two-word term. Let's hear it, player three. That's correct. All right, the sclera and this consist of tough tissues that make up the outer layer of the eyeball and give it strength. Okay, player two. That's correct. Player two, where do we start? Need something? Well, just come to the point and stop beating around the this. Let's hear it, player one. Right. Where do we begin? The final outrage is the straw that breaks this animal's back. Yes, player two. Yeah! Good. Where do we begin? Player two. People who meet briefly and then go their separate ways are like these that pass in the night. Let's hear it, player two. Yeah! Good. Player two. You've been in trouble if someone has read you this act. It's player one. Good. Player one. An indefinitely long time is often referred to as a month of these days. It's player three. Right. Player three, make a selection, please. For his subversive activities, Lenin was banished to this region in 1897. Yes, player two. Yeah. That's it. Player two. Lenin returned to Russia from Europe following the overthrow of the Tsar in this year. Yes, player three. Right. Player three. Lenin led this majority revolutionary faction to power in the October Revolution. Let's hear it, player three. Right. You get to pick again. Following the establishment of a dictatorship, Lenin changed his political party's name to this. Player two. Right. Player two. After Lenin's death in 1924, this man began purging rivals and eventually took over the top spot. Okay, player one. That is correct. Player one, you start us off. Barry Bonds broke this man's home run record of 755. Player two. That's correct. Player two. This seven-time Tour de France champ said the New York City Marathon was the hardest physical thing he'd ever done. Okay, player three. Hey, you're right. Player three. From 1984 to 1992, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and this man won all the NBA's regular season MVP awards. Yes, player three. Yes. You again, player 3. In 1904, he became the first pitcher in the American League to throw a perfect game. An award is named for him. Yes, player 2. That's correct. Here's the $1,000 clue for you. Let's go to the Clue Crew for this next clue.
The Green Bay Packers maintain a replica of the office of this legendary coach known for his commitment to winning.
Okay, player 2. That's right, way to go. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Clues are worth $400 to $2,000 in these categories. Statues. Adjectives. Presidential families. American playwrights. NBA nicknames. And anatomy and medicine. All right, player 3, as promised, you pick first in Double Jeopardy. The sower atop Nebraska's state capitol in this city is tossing seeds to the Great Plains 400 feet below. It's player 1. Right. A lot of clues. Blue Earth, Minnesota has a definitely giant 55-foot statue of this pea pusher. It's player 1. Good. Player 1. Answer. The first of the daily doubles. And you're in the lead now. Decide on... All right, here's your clue. Sam Houston stands 67 feet tall along Interstate 45 in this state. That puts you even further ahead. You get to pick again. Here's Jimmy from our Clue Crew with the clue.
A statue of this discoverer of Florida stands near the street named for him in St. Augustine.
Player 1? That's correct. Please pick again. In 2003, a statue of this man was pulled down just a year after it had gone up to mark his 65th birthday. Okay, player 2. Hey, you're right. Where do we begin, player 2? This adjective precedes grace in the name of a hymn. Yes, player 3? Yep. Where do we begin? From the Latin for falling down, it's used to describe a tree that sheds its leaves annually. Player 2. Good. Player 2. From the Latin for flowing, it means able to speak or write smoothly as a foreign language. Okay, player 2. You are correct. Player 2. This adjective that means weirdly frightening comes from the Old English for cowardly. Okay, player 3. Yes. A lot of clues. This 10-letter adjective, meaning extraordinarily great in size, comes from the Latin for to shake. Let's hear it, player 1. Right you are. Player 1, make a selection, please, as we continue. His daughter Margaret was born in Independence, Missouri. Yes, player 2. Yes. Player 2. This 26th president's youngest son, Quentin, was killed in air combat during World War I. Okay, player one. Good for you. Player one. He married his second wife, Edith Bowling Galt, during his first term. Yes, player one. You are correct. Player one. Answer. The other daily double. And you're in the lead now. Player one, please select your wager. Answer. This 8th president's wife, Hannah, died of tuberculosis in 1819. You have maintained your lead. Way to go. Please pick again. His son married Mary Catherine Hellen in the White House on February 25, 1828. Player three. Right you are. Player three. Where do we start? True and false. David Mamet's no-nonsense book on this craft includes a chapter called Find Your Mark. Okay, player one. That is correct. Where do we begin? This playwright once said that his Aunt Belle, a Sunday school teacher, was the prototype of Blanche Dubois. It's player two. Good for you. Player two. You might desire the rings and garters worn by this Desire Under the Elms author. They're in the Yale Library. Yes, player two. Yes. Player two. Fam and Yam was inspired by a meeting with this playwright for whom life was no picnic. Okay, player two. That's correct. Player two. Pittsburgh's African American Cultural Center was renamed for this piano lesson author, who was born in Pittsburgh. It's player three. That is correct. Player three. You're in command of the board as we continue right now. MJ. It's player two. That's correct. All right, let's Pistol Pete. Let's hear it, player one. Correct. Player one, Sir Charles. It's player one. Good for you. Player one, Mr. Clutch. Okay, player two. Yes. Player two, Hondo. Yes, player three. Correct. Player three, start us. It's a network of nerves, like the solar one. It's player two. You got it. Player two. Nephrology is a medical specialty concerned with these organs. Let's hear it, player three. Correct. Player three. It's also called the auditory tube, and when it's blocked, an earache can result. Yes, player three. That's correct. We return to you. From the Greek for bad mold, it's an abnormal growth of tissue or bone. Dogs get it in their hips. It's player two. Correct. And the last clue for $2,000. These 5 bones make up the palm of the hand. Let's hear it, player 2. You are correct. Good game. All of you will continue on to play Final Jeopardy when we return. Here's today's Final Jeopardy category. U.S. Presidents. You need to select your wager. Now it's time for the Final Jeopardy clue, and here it is. He's the only U.S. president who never lived in the District of Columbia. Did you come up with the correct response? And this correct response will add how much to your score? And your response? And that correct response will add... Did you come up with the correct response? And that correct response will add... Player 1, congratulations to you. Thanks for playing. We'll see you next time.